Alrighty guys, welcome. We're going to look at number 3 here, which is our secondary research components, okay? So a real quick one today, just on how to search for different secondary research. I'm sure you guys got the hang of this during your previous, 11 years of schooling, but if not, here we go. So when we do secondary research, we want to make sure that we have a variety of secondary research options. So it's probably good to have a number of these. You don't necessarily have to have all of them, but if you're just using websites purely throughout the whole thing, probably not going to be great. Or if you just use a book or one book, you want to have a variety of different secondary research sources. So a few things to touch on. I'll quickly touch on this because it's popped in my mind. When we start our research report, you're probably going to want to define your issue and what it is, right? It looks much better if you guys use a legitimate dictionary or encyclopedia as opposed to a dodgy sounding website. Now, I'm not knocking their dictionary version, but let's say you're looking at something like euthanasia, for example. You might want to define the scope of what euthanasia is, right? In doing so, you don't want to go to dictionary.com. I know I spelled that wrong. Oh, Dan.com, what the heck? So if I go to dictionary.com, that does not sound nearly as impressive as something like the Cambridge Dictionary or the Oxford Dictionary. Okay, so when you are going to define anything, just sort of think about the footnote that's going to appear at the bottom of the page. You want to make it look good, okay? The other thing when you're looking at things like reputable websites or newspaper editorial pieces, don't forget I've got a list of really good websites here already that you can use that's on Google Classroom, so have a look at that if you want. When we're talking about books or ebooks, that could be any book or ebook that might be related to your topic. You might have read a really good book relating to your topic and you can certainly reference that. Other things you can reference are things like videos, so like a YouTube video, or if there's a TED talk or something like that, you can certainly reference and use that as part of secondary research as a talk. So that's something that you can use. Academic paper and journal articles. Now, you can access a lot of these for free using something called Google Scholar. So all you do is just go to Google and type in Google Scholar, and then if you click on that, you'll get a search engine that will filter through for articles. So let's say I'm doing something on the death penalty in Australia. There's lots of different research articles that I can look at here, which will give me access to some free journal articles. Okay, so let's say for example I want to look at this one. You just go to the PDF button that's here and it opens up for you. Okay, and I've got this nice big long juicy journal article. Now let's say this is a lot to read, right? And part of research is reading a lot, but let's say I want to look at some keywords, right? Let's say I'm looking at, now there's a cool way of searching. Let's say you want to find specific information, right? And you want to churn it through a bit. If you hit on your keyboard, Control F, that's Control F. Whoop, hold on, let me try again. Control F. This little bar is going to come up here, okay? And let's say, I've already given myself away. Let's say you want to look at, let's say you're doing death penalty and you chose ethnicity and you wanted to compare Australia to Asia, right? And you wanted to compare that. Let's say for this journal article, you can type in the keyword there, being Asia here, for example, and it will show me that there's one of 17 different times that word is mentioned. So you can click next up the top here and cycle through all the different keywords where it says that. And let's say we're doing something else. Let's say I'm looking at gender. Okay, so I might type in male up here. There's no mention of male in this whole article. Alright, I might type in man or men. So you can, but then okay. So you can see that's an example of a poor one. Let's say we go female. There's no mention of that here. If I type in Australia, there's 128 mentions. So I know that this, and you can see sort of here on the side, all these yellow words are the amount of times that that word is mentioned in this whole thing. So I guess the point behind that to show you is that when you are doing your secondary research article, and this works on other things like websites. So let's say I've just found an ABC news article and I want to find keywords relating, I'll try that again. I want to find keywords relating to male or female. I can type in men here, for example, and see again, oops, just fixing the screen up, that the word men appears 15 times, but here there's the word men. So you can search for that, or if I want to look at, say, Aboriginal, for example, I can see the amount of times that they've referred to that word. So it's just a good way for you to help find key bits of information that you want to look for. So that there, I guess, is a little bit of a hack or a way or a guide to approach your secondary research. The only other thing, obviously, that I will mention, and I showed you it in the assessment task notification video, is don't just go to a website and say, that looks great, I'm going to cut and paste that in. I will know, and you will get 0. Just don't be that guy. Do not be that guy. Do your own work. Reference everything as you go. Okay? Thanks very much.